Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back here again for another review. This is a long overdue. Y'all know that I had actually gone and seen it, maybe like at least 3 weeks ago. And when I went to see it 3 weeks ago, I also went and they did a Q&A. And the Q&A actually had some of the actors in it. And I'm talking about the movie Fences, by the way. This is Denzel Washington's produced and directed and acted in role for what was the time frame? I think it was 1983 when the playwright actually came out by August Wilson. Critically acclaimed. They had a 1987 version that was done with James Earl Jones as the character Troy. And then Denzel Washington did one in 2010 with Viola Davis that was a play that was critically acclaimed as well through both Broadway productions. But the playwright was initially done in 1983. But the reason I bring all that up, like I said, is that the actors, they were actually there for a Q&A. They had Russell Hernsbury, who played Denzel Washington's older son, Lyons. They had Mykelti Williamson, who played the role of Gabriel, his brother. He actually played the role of Bubba in Forrest Gump. And then they also had the son, I think that his name is Stephen Henderson. And all of them did a great job. If you want to go to right here, you should be able to go and see the Q&A session. I have the whole entire thing recorded. I just did not want to release it out until I actually did my review for Fences. But let's go ahead and break this film down, because this is easily one of the best acted films this year. And I mean, a lot of people are going to say, you know, because Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, just because of their names, they're going to get nominated. Of course, they did get nominated for Golden Globes, but I say they potentially could win for Best Actor and Best Actress. And there's different reasons why. So let's go ahead and just break down the movie as a whole. As far as the production, as far as the way that it was actually filmed, it really wasn't anything eye-catching. I mean, they did it in the right setting. They did it very well in terms of like capturing the 1950s era, and even like the dialogue. The dialogue was very on point. Whoever did the script did a great job with it. But I've got to say, for me, that it wasn't anything, you know, eye-catching or anything like that. I think where it was the dynamics of the voice and the pattern. There wasn't any, like, not a really big score either. I think that the scenes were very seamless. They kind of felt just like a play. And if you noticed the play, I think that a lot of people that did not know this was a play before are going to enjoy this a lot more. If you're going to the movie trying to critique it based on just how the play was, you're not going to enjoy it as well, because I personally did not see all the play. I did see some of the scenes on YouTube with James Earl Jones and Denzel Washington in their role as Troy in certain scenes, but I didn't look at the whole entire play, so I had no idea what was going into it. And I think that works so much better as far as the story. But let's go into acting. The acting, as far as Denzel Washington as the role of Troy and Viola Davis as the role of Rose, they did such an amazing job. But the thing is about this, there's only really 7 actors that you see throughout the entire film. And that in and of itself is crazy. It's not like a close-in movie. There are moments outside, there are moments inside, you know, the house, and really that's it. But it doesn't feel closed in, because the dialogue and the monologues are so fluid and so natural and seamless by Denzel Washington. This is powerhouse acting, because in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, Troy is a really stand-up dad. I mean, he's kind of conditioned based on the era that he's in, being African-American male, trying to make it. I mean, people didn't know back then, you know what I'm saying, like what they had available to them. Like even one of the dialogues with Troy and one of his friends, what was his friend name? I think his name was Jim. Jim was basically telling him, like, back then, like, he was living underneath, like, the streets, and that's an outhouse. He didn't know that he could actually, you know, work to be able to get a house that actually had his own bathroom and stuff like that. That wasn't something, they weren't conditioned to have those kind of things facilitated for them, you know what I'm saying? Like, before that, their fathers and stuff like that were either going through a cornfield or just trying to make it to farm, you know what I'm saying? And that gets brought up in some amazing dialogue with Denzel Washington. It was one of the most interesting scenes for me was when Denzel, his older son Lyons, and then his friend Jim were basically talking about the fact of what was going on in Troy's upbringing. And that's the thing about Troy as a character. He's very flawed. You wouldn't expect that based on how charismatic he is, but Denzel Washington flows it so well that there are moments where, he starts to kind of crack when like his brother Gabriel gets there, or when he's making dialogue with Rose about his inhibitions and things that he wanted that he can't be, and in his baseball career you can tell he's just breaking. But the thing about it is that Viola Davis plays off him so well because she has to be equally as strong for him. And that even gets brought up in dialogue. The thing about it is, with her trying to be as equally as strong as him and him breaking in the fold, she's breaking right with him. But she's trying to stand firm for him, even when he disregards her, messes her up, and it's amazing acting. It's very well acted, and I think that Williamson as Gabriel, that's got a mental disability because of circumstances, he does amazing. Like I don't know if y'all caught that. There's moments where you can feel wanting to laugh at him, but then there are moments where I really feel like, what I'm saying, this man has something happen to him, and he acts it so seamlessly. It's not like Cuba with Radio. It's not even like on the extreme with Hoffman for Rain Man. This is his own thing, and he does it so well. And then even with what I'm saying, like the older son and the younger son, they have different perspectives on their dad, and I guess that flows into the story, because the story, if you go from the beginning all the way to the end, you're gonna come out of it feeling rough, because it is very deep, it is very sad, it is very rough, but it is very real. And that's the thing that connected with me, in the sense that, what I'm saying, like, I know where my family comes from. I know, some of the circumstances we dealt with as a family, and it was very relatable. Very relatable. That's all I can really say. I even brought my family there, what I'm saying? I brought my mom and my dad and my fiance. Man, we got to that theater, we didn't say nothing. Everybody was just quiet as a mug because it was so real, so dark. The only thing that I can maybe critique is two different things. One thing is that Troy keeps on having this weird flashback with the house that's right next to him, looking up at this window, and that gets lost in the sauce. I don't even know what that was about, and I thought that felt like kind of a plot hole. And then besides that, I would say the very third act will, from the critique standpoint, it will throw people off, but I actually enjoyed it because I needed something to lift me up, not bring me back down. And so for the small critique about the whole, about the house, and maybe y'all can tell me in the comment sections below, I just didn't catch it. I will say that they did a great job with this film. I'll give this film a 9.5 out of 10. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if there were certain things I didn't understand. Maybe when the director's cut, or maybe when they come out with the Blu-ray DVD, there's things that they kind of flush out a bit better. But as I said, this movie is not going to be for everybody. It's very different. It's very themed more so just like the play. If you're going into it and knowing about the play, you'll kind of like not represent as much. But I think that you have to appreciate the level of acting and the fact there's only a 7-person cast, really, and then it's in a tight area. They just nail it. I am very intrigued to watch other films such as Moonlight, Silence, I think Manchester by the Sea. I think that all those movies, they have dynamic acting is what I'm told, and this one was one of the best acted this year. So anyway, if y'all have any recommendations, let me know in the comment section below. Have a happy holiday, and I will talk to you later, and I will be doing my Rogue One review later on this week. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.